Oh, hi. Sorry about that. I was just having a little moment with my favourite surfboard of all time. The best surfboard of all time. The Evo's had a new look. It's had a makeover. She was beautiful anyway, and now she's even more beautiful. It's a cosmetic update. It's called the Helium 2, but it's the same amazing, beautiful, outstanding board that it always was, just looking even better. I'll give you a quick refresher. I'm sure you've seen lots of reviews and read a lot about the Evo, that it's the best board of all time, but let's start with the construction. So it's got the modern planing hull, massive scoop, double concave, inside a concave or whatever it is, running down the middle of the board. And that's what gives this board its magic. Its lift, its acceleration, its insane speed, but still controllable enough that you can actually surf it and turn it and have life on it, have a better life having surfed it. The construction is still in the Helium, which is, as you know, the ultra responsive, super fast flexing epoxy that keeps that new board pop and that feel indefinitely for years. The rails, the blend of balsa and Polonia to help with that fast flex memory. It's still amazing. So, wave range, thigh to a bit overhead. It'll deal with slacker conditions. It's not like a full-on groveler, but it's as good as close as you can get to a groveler without being a longboard that you'll need. It works in our conditions, onshorey, choppy, kind of awful conditions that we have to endure a lot of the time really well. And by generating that extra speed, it gets you around those sections that you're not going to make on a hybrid or a full-on flat groveler. That's its magic. When the waves get a bit punchier, a bit more drivey, it's got a straight enough rail to give you the hold and the speed that you need. And although you might think that nose is going to dig, there's enough rocker there to make sure it doesn't. And that wider surface area gives you a bit more time, a bit more forgiving nature to the board. The sweet spot's big. With that extra paddling ability you get, it's just such a great board for people going on for coming down from a bigger board, or who surf a shortboard a lot but want something a bit more forgiving that's going to give them more out of the wave, i.e. higher wave count, longer waves, more responsive ride. Fin-wise, comes as a 5-fin setup. Only a complete madman would ride it as a quad. There's enough speed generated with the thruster setup, and that thruster gives you that little bit of extra control over a quad, which is good. The board generates all the speed, even in poorer conditions. You don't need that quad setup to give you that extra bit of speed or looseness. The board does all that for you, but of course you can try. Who's going to ride it? As I said, pretty much anybody from improving beginner to early intermediate up to expert. Size-wise, you've got to size it small though. If you oversize it too much, the board ends up pushing water. The board isn't sitting low enough in the water if it's too big for you, so it ends up pushing water and you don't get the same paddle sensation that you do. Many moons ago when the board first came out and we all grabbed one to try, I went and got a 5.9, given that my next smallest board was a 6.2 or something at the time, and surfed it, thought it was amazing. My secretary Roger here had a 5.7. We swapped boards in the water and this 5.7 was a revelation. It surfed so much better, it paddled so much better. I would never have believed that going down that much from other existing boards could give the paddle power and the performance and the fun factor that it did, but it did. So don't oversize it too much. We have lots of customers who say, oh, I'm going to get a 6.4 Evo and use it as my groveler. I weigh 70 kilos. Don't do that. It's not the way to go. You will be disappointed. So looking very fresh and very fine in the new Helium 2 livery. The Tomo from Firewire, the Evo, still an outstanding board and still the board of choice that'll cater with 90% of the waves you're going to surf in this country and beyond. You'll only need a longboard to sit under it kind of thing, or a real full-on flat groveler, and then a performance board like the Omni or something like that to sit above it for bigger, more exotic, more punchy waves. Love the Evo. You can of course part exchange old board against it, bar 0% finance, all that stuff. If you need any advice, come to the website, drop us an email to info or give us a ring. Until next time, thanks for watching.